Hello, Coach.
Good to see you.
Good to see you. Jason Barr, KGUN, ABC station in Tucson. What's the significance of playing a game in Phoenix to the program?
Well, certainly from a convenience standpoint for our fans, I think it's great. I think it's comfortable. It's comfortable for our players. We know the environment, and I don't know how many bowls I've been in, 18 or 19 or so, and this is the first one I've ever had the opportunity to drive to. So that was really nice and convenient for our operation folks. But for our fans, and not only our fans from Tucson, but our fans, we have a lot of fans, a lot of alumni here in the Valley, and I think it's going to make for a great atmosphere on Wednesday.
Next question?
Yeah, Coach Dave Cooney from KOLE in Tucson. Sure, there's still a small amount of people outside of Tucson that when they think of the U of A, they think of it still maybe as a basketball school. Having a season like this and being on this stage, do you think that starts to change the culture, or can it?
You know, it's a fair question. I've been asked that quite a bit. How do you feel about being in a basketball school, what have you? And to me, I think it's great that we're known for something. You know, I think we're known for more than just basketball. You look at a lot of our programs, our softball program, our Olympic sports, and our football programs had success in the past. So I think it just shows that we can have success at the highest level in various sports at the U of A. And for us, this is I think certainly a nice pathway to get to where we want to be. We want to have the best football program in the country at some point. We're not there right now, but I think we've made progress in the last couple of years toward that.
Question over here.
Hey, Rick. Scott Bordeaux from the Arizona Republic. You've talked about this before, I'm sure, but could you go over the recruitment of Scooby Wright and what you saw in him that others did not?
Yeah, I can remember when we're watching film, like the normal process goes that the coach that has that area in recruiting will identify a guy, then he'll pass it on to the position coach, and once he approves it, goes to the defensive coordinator or offensive coordinator, and once they approve it, then it comes to me. And so we have a process where all of us watched it, and every one of us, I can remember watching Scooby's films like, you know, what are we missing here? I mean, we're going to be the first one, Division I school to offer him, and he's big, he's physical, he runs hard, he plays hard, he's a great kid, he comes from a great family. And so when we offered him, we were like, we hope nobody else finds out about him. And, you know, he was tucked away in Santa Rosa, California, up there, a little, you know, not a highly populated area, but there were no hesitations or no qualms at all about us offering him. And when we offered him, I think he really liked him when he got to know us a little bit, and for him to get all the accolades and get everything in just 2 short years is pretty remarkable. And I'm not worried about it getting to his big head. He got a big head anyway. He can handle a lot. But I think the way he's wired, the way he works, you know, he'll play with a chip on his shoulder throughout his entire career.
Question in the back.
Go ahead, Scott.
Just to follow up on that, that fanatical effort he plays with, how unusual is that? You know,
Well, he does play with great effort, but I would hope it's a standard that's set for every guy in our program. And Scooby does play hard. I think it's one reason why he gets so many numbers and sacks and TFLs, whatever you call it. But I like to think we have a lot of guys that play with that kind of effort. In fact, we're trying to build our program around that principle.
Coach Cameron Cox here in Phoenix. Your freshman quarterback, how much has he grown throughout the year?
I think quite a bit. I think for anybody that plays at that position at this level, you know, experience is invaluable. And for Anu, you know, he got thrown right in as a redshirt freshman, and I think from the first game through the last game, I think he's learned a little bit in each game. And there's been some highs and some lows, and he's had to fight through some nagging injuries, but he's competed all the time, and he's gotten better throughout the course of the year, understanding what we want to do offensively. And his best football is still out in front of him. That's the most exciting part.
As a coach, does that fire you up for the next 3 years if you can stay?
Yeah, I've had redshirt freshmen before. I had a guy named Pat White that was pretty good as a redshirt freshman and played in back then what was called a BCS Bowl as a redshirt freshman, and he had a fabulous career. And I think Anu is on that same track. But he's going to have to keep battling for his job every year too. And I think he understands that we want to have competition each and every year. And Anu's enough of a competitor. I think he'll keep getting better.
In the back.
Coach, a follow-up to my earlier question. At the Pac-12 championship game, there were very few Wildcat fans, possibly because nobody expected you to be in that game. Do you expect a little bit of a different atmosphere with the weeks leading up, that people knew that the Wildcats were going to be in this game?
Yeah, I think it's a couple things, Jason. I do think, you know, obviously you have time now to prepare to come up here. It's an easier trip. You know, it's around the holidays, and it's a big-time bowl game. And only something that we've only been a part of a couple times in our history. So I would expect a huge crowd dressed in red and white and the Arizona blue.
Any other questions? Great, well, thank you. Again, the floor is open to speak with players. If you'd like to speak with Coach one-on-one,